What's going on, everyone? This is Kevin here, coming at you with 7 reasons to avoid buying the Motorola Moto G Stylus 5G 2024. So without further ado, let's get started. So this is the Motorola Moto G Stylus 5G 2024, and this video is all about why you should not buy this smartphone. Now, to preface here, this device is actually an excellent mid-range device. It's packed full of features, and especially considering the fact that it's meant to be a very affordable smartphone, you really shouldn't be asking for much more than we're actually getting here. In fact, for many people who end up getting this phone, they're probably getting it for free or almost close to free at their carrier. So again, for a very inexpensive, affordable smartphone, you really shouldn't be asking for too much. And in many ways, this phone actually over-delivers on pretty much what I'd expect in this segment. That being said though, I did want to make this video pointing out some of the shortcomings of this device, just in case you're expecting some of those features to be present here. So I don't want anyone buying this device and then later on being surprised that it's lacking something. So that's pretty much what this video is all about. Now, the first shortcoming that I want to go over are the lack of AI features here on the Moto G Stylus 5G 2024. Now, we're in the year 2024, hence the name of this device, but you've probably noticed that AI is certainly the main trend right now. And in fact, when we've been seeing new smartphones getting launched, AI is pretty much usually the center point of whatever main features there are that they're promoting with that specific launch. For example, Google just had an event today promoting the Pixel 9 series, and they launched a bunch of AI features that are almost exclusive with those phones. Also, earlier this year, Samsung launched their various Galaxy devices with Galaxy AI. So I think many people expect that Motorola is doing the same thing. Now, with some of their more premium devices, they are offering different AI features, but unfortunately with this one, we don't really get any of those features. Now, there are 2 AI features I will point out to you here in a second, but they're pretty much the bare minimum. So the first one here is that you can indeed use Google Gemini with the G Stylus 5G 2024. Now, I did pick that as the assistant here on the device. You will have to set that up when you're setting up the phone, but to get to that setup process, just hold down the power button for about a second. You can see I already have it set up for Gemini, but it will by default pull up Google Assistant, and then from there, it'll ask you if you want to use Gemini or Assistant. So I do recommend using Gemini because it is the latest AI technology from Google here. So let's ask it a question. Give me a recipe for tacos. And we'll see what it says. So you can see here it did create a recipe for creating tacos. And then the other AI feature is that if you go to the wallpaper section here, you can actually go down to where it says made with AI. And then from there, pick Style Sync. So I'm going with this selfie. You can see the outline there. But essentially, it's creating a wallpaper from that selfie. So it's going to take various colors from that picture and then incorporate them into a wallpaper. And from the blue shirt that I was wearing, you can see this is what it created. So there are a few options here. This one's really nothing, but you can see they're kind of interesting. I don't know if they're really worth using, but that is the other AI feature here on the device. So that's actually the only proprietary AI feature, considering that you can use Gemini at this point on pretty much any Android smartphone. So again, if you're looking for a phone packed full of AI, which many people are looking for, you're not really getting that here. And the second reason to avoid buying this device is due to some of the limitations with the cameras. Now, with this phone, we are getting some decent cameras. We're getting a 50 megapixel main camera and then a 13 megapixel ultra wide angle camera, but unfortunately there is no telephoto camera present. So we'll go over here to the camera app and I'll kind of show you what I mean. So you can see there's 0.5 for ultra wide. There's even kind of this fake macro mode, which there is no dedicated macro camera, but it uses the other cameras to kind of mimic macro. But you can see this other option where it says 2. Technically that's a 2x zoom, but it's doing a digital zoom here instead of an optical zoom because there is no telephoto camera. So if you are used to using a smartphone right now with a telephoto camera and you're expecting that feature is present on pretty much any smartphone out there, just know that you're not getting that specific feature here with the Moto G Stylus 5G 2024. The next shortcoming is that there is no USB wall adapter included in the box. So you probably noticed the box here is very slim, and that is a good thing, but it's also due to there really not being much in the box itself. So we do get a double-sided USB-C cable included, which I'll show you here in a second, if I can open this box correctly. But unfortunately, there is no wall adapter to go up with that. So here we go, there's the cable right there. but there's no wall adapter. Now, it is important which wall adapter you choose to pair this up with, because this phone can actually recharge at up to 30 watts. That's actually a great thing that we're getting here, having that ability to recharge very quickly. But just keep in mind that you will have to use an actual 30-watt wall adapter so that this phone can actually recharge at that fast rate. And you certainly will want to take advantage of that fast charging feature, because this phone has a really large battery at 5,000 milliamp hours, and certainly having that faster charging will save you a lot of time and really give you a much better experience here with the device. So unfortunately, that adapter is not included. You will have to go out and get that on your own, so just know that. So one of the great things about Android is that it's always evolving, and we're always getting new features added with each additional major launch of Android. Now, unfortunately though, this phone's only getting one major Android software update. So the phone did ship with Android 14, and it will be getting Android 15, but beyond that, we won't be getting new versions of Android from Motorola. Now, I believe you will still be getting security patches moving into the future, but again, there won't be an Android 16 or 17 or any other further out versions than 15. So if you're happy with that, if you're okay with that, then I suppose it's not much of a problem. But I know that some people do like to get new features that come out with new versions of Android when they are launched, so just know that you're not getting that here. Now, the good news is the actual software that we're getting with the Moto G Stylus 5G 2024 is actually very well optimized, so I really like the way that they do their software. Another great thing too, which you can find in my dedicated tips and tricks video, is that there's a lot of features further into this OS than you'd see from first glance. So I do like how Motorola kind of took the best of stock Android and then put kind of their own twist to it, but instead of kind of duplicating features or creating redundant features, they are actually pretty much adding in only what's needed. Now, unfortunately, with the Moto G Stylus 5G 2024, there is no support for HDMI out. So I know a lot of people like to take their Android device and then plug it into maybe their TV or a monitor. And sometimes, like with Samsung, we even get DeX mode, which is a dedicated desktop operating system. But that's certainly not here with this device. But in addition to that, there is no HDMI out. So if that's important to you, then just know that you're not getting that here. But if that doesn't matter to you, then I suppose it's really not a problem at all. Another shortcoming of this device is the stylus. So I've had a lot of questions of people asking, can you do a lot of drawings here with the stylus? How precise is the stylus? Is it actually even helpful at all? And in some ways it is helpful, but in other ways it's certainly not the experience that you'd be getting with a Galaxy S24 Ultra, for example, or even with the Apple Pencil. You're not getting that level of sophistication or even precision here with this stylus, but at least it does work. So you can see you can use it to navigate around the phone. We can even go here to write a note, and there is some precision. So again, you can kind of see how precise that is. So it's not like the stylus is a joke or anything like that. It's just that it's not really that advanced. There's really no further features that you can do with the stylus. It pretty much does kind of the bare minimum here. But if you are looking for a smartphone with a stylus and you're not sure if you want to spend $1,000 or more on an S24 Ultra, then at least you are getting a stylus here that does work, and it's certainly kind of a preview here to that feature. Another good thing about the stylus is that it really doesn't take away from the device either. So it's not like having the stylus here in the phone makes the phone thicker or less convenient to use. If you use this stylus only like once a year, then that won't even be a problem for you. So there's really no shortcomings with the stylus itself. Just know that it's really not that advanced. So maybe, for example, you have like an S22 Ultra or even S23 Ultra, or really any Samsung stylus phone, and you're considering going to this device instead, just know that in many situations, the stylus here probably will be a downgrade for you. And for number 7, the final reason to avoid buying the Moto G Stylus 5G 2024 is because of the build materials. Now, there are some good things about the build that we're getting here, but also some downsides. So the main downside here is that we're getting plastic on the sides, and then we're getting vegan leather on the back. Now, in many ways, I actually like this vegan leather look. I think that it actually holds up pretty nice. I like that it doesn't pick up fingerprints, and I also like that it just kind of looks high quality. But keep in mind that, especially the side rails here being plastic, this phone will get very scratched up as time goes on. So I do recommend pairing up the phone with some sort of case just to keep it fresh into the long term. But beyond that, it's really not that much of a big deal that it is plastic, but again, just keep in mind that if you're using a phone right now that's metal and glass, this phone will not be nearly as durable as time goes on, so just remember that. But this concludes my video on 7 reasons to avoid buying the Motorola Moto G Stylus 5G 2024. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, definitely give it a thumbs up. But this is Kevin here, and I will see you in the next one. Take care and have a great rest of your day.